What's up, guys? Mr. Freddy here. Today's going to be another LEGO set review, and this time it's a polybag set, which is called Build Your Own Animal. Set number is 30503, has 16 pieces, and is for ages 5 and up. I don't have the polybag, but I still have the instruction pamphlet. Let me unfold it. And, oops, just hang on a sec. There we go. Here's the the front of it, which has the the front cover for the polybag. Here's the back, which has the history of Lego, and lastly the win ad. Let me pull it back and we move that aside. Now for the the build, and it's a duck, and it's a pretty simple build since has that classic Lego feel to it for the build. It's pretty adorable, and it looks rather rideable for the minifigure to ride on because of the lots of studs there, and it's just a nice build of a duck. So yeah, so it's not just one build. There's like a total of 5 builds for this polybag set, which is pretty impressive. So now for the the first alternate build, and it's a parrot build, and it's a parrot, and it looks pretty nice. And it has like a lack of red for the first alternate build, which is kind of usual since the other builds didn't have the red colors. So yeah, it's it's a neat looking first alternate build. So yeah, all right. Next up is a swan, and yeah, it definitely looks like a swan with the long legs and the beak that almost looks like swan shape. So yeah, and yeah, it's also pretty neat. So yeah, so that's the swan build. Next up is a dog build, and it's a dog. Has like the tail and the ears, and yeah, it's it's a pretty nice build of a dog. You know, just like the other builds, it doesn't have the red colors. For it since it's only for the duck build. So yeah. All right. So last build is a ram. Even though I thought it's a rhino, but it's actually a ram. And just like the duck build, it's very rideable for the minifigure to ride on. So yeah, it's pretty cute and possibly the best build in this set, alongside the the main build, the duck. Especially it's you can have like a minifigure riding on it, and it have like lots of fun with it for this build. So yeah. All right, now for the final thoughts on this polybag set. Overall, this is actually a pretty creative polybag set, which, it's pretty much has a total of 5 builds, which is pretty impressive for a $5 polybag set. Really like the main duck build, but possibly the best one is the ram build, because it's pretty much possibly the most rideable for the minifigure to ride on. Besides the duck. Still like the duck build. The other builds, they're pretty neat, like especially the parrot, but the main build's pretty pretty iconic, since it's a it's a duck build, and the ram build's actually the best one, since it's pretty much the most fun out of the other builds in this set. And yeah, since the set is called Build Your Own Animal, which you can be creative on which animal it suits you, like either the parrot, the swan, dog, or the ram, or you can go a little bit crazy on the whatever animal build that you want to make. Some possibly something a bit more wacky than the duck build and the other builds. So yeah. So ranking on the set, I'll just give it a 7 out of 10, since it's a pretty good polybag set with 5 different builds to make for for this set. which is pretty, pretty cool. So yeah. All right, so I just hope you guys enjoy my Lego set review on the polybag set, build your own animal. So like and comment this video and subscribe for content. So this is Mr. Freddy here, and I hope you have a very good day. So bye.